Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to rise and speak briefly to, I will say, this suite of bills. So I'm speaking to this bill, but we just had a bill. We have another one coming. They're all the same. They are a new approach to economic development, but it's not new. It's old. It's an old approach. It's an outdated approach. And it's an approach that has been largely discredited. And that's the approach of consolidating power and making sure that you have your hands on every lever and that there is, in fact, no independent accountability. So that's what's on the floor. That's what's on the floor right now. We're having the opportunity to make the choice to all together get into a time machine and go back. Go back in time to the 80s. And, you know, there was a public outcry about that move. There was a public outcry. The public in the 1980s talked and talked about patronage. And it led to changes in government because people were so incensed about the small circles of influence and favoritism and the complete lack, and I will say lack in contradistinction to what the minister has said, of accountability. And this is a government who, in opposition, made their mark as the champions of accountability. The champions of accountability. They sued the province of Nova Scotia about accountability, and yet we are seeing in this session sweeping changes. Sweeping changes. And the thing that they all have in common is that they reduce transparency, they reduce accountability, and they reduce the ability of the public to have an impact on policy making. And to add a little bit of salt to that wound, we actually have no explanation for why. As my colleague, the MLA for Halifax Citadel, I think put it very eloquently, we have no explanation for why. We are not even deemed to be worthy of understanding this new approach to economic development. So in the absence of that type of explanation that is more than just hyperbole and bromides about how amazing it is, we are forced not to support any of these changes because we are concerned on behalf of our constituents about what this back to the future approach will bring us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.